Let's all read this comment while I get water on my face. In the beginning of the Bible, or Revelation. One of the two. Oh, where did you read that? It was actually either the first book of the Bible or the very end. I haven't read anything in between, so it's hard to remember. Girl, what? I'm gonna be using the Snail Muin while we talk about this. On this, the 7th day of me being a snail-fluencer, I don't get to rest. No, instead I get comments like these. Yeah, I did turn off the filter. Hopefully, the point was made that, yes, Genesis is the beginning of the Bible, my dear, and Jesus is not in the beginning of the Bible. The Old Testament, by definition, is before Jesus was there. It said John's Revelation. Like, there was a John who wrote Revelation, but I don't know if you knew that. Now, there is a John 1, and I think that you got points by accident. Don't even say anything. You know, this... Yeah, so I think that you meant the New Testament John, which is a gospel, not the same as Revelation. And the reason why I think you meant that is because you probably were going for John 3:16, in which, you know, the God gave his only son, and that's what you meant by which God gave him, but that's a gospel still. It's okay though. I understand that they only really put John 3:16 on all the billboards and all the buses, and that's probably the one that you're most familiar with, so you're just repeating that. While we're on John 3:16, let's also talk about the fact that the verse says, whoever believes in him shall not perish. I just like bringing that up to remind people that there's no hell, according to the Gospel of John. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go wash this off because it got everywhere, but if you want to check my other video of me washing my face, I do tell you a trick on how to get these products for cheaper. Go check that one out. I just posted it today. Come back for day 8 of my skin journey. Check the playlist for actual story times instead of responding to dumb comments. If you want to check my profile, you can go to the shop link there. It's better than using the one here because then you get to see which prices are changing. It's kind of what I talked about in the other video, but it's deeper than that. Well, no filter, but that skin's looking hydrated. Can you believe I'm 2,000 years old? Filters off, stick around while I do my new skincare routine. We're gonna go fast mode voiceover. I'm washing my face with the Embryo Lease product. I don't know if that's how you say it, but here we are. This isn't the tip, but I saw people ranting and raving about this milk, and I thought it was just moisturizer. But it's not just that. On the Le Creme moisturizer box, it says that you can also use it as a makeup base primer, a moisturizing mask if you leave it on, and also a makeup remover, so like a wash. So like come through then, right? You can do all of it, but here's the money-saving tip. You should know this before hopping on the Snail Muin trend. I bought mine in a pack of 3 that actually came with the Snail Muin serum, moisturizer, and also this Le Creme embryo thing. But they're not all coming from the same shop, and each shop has its own different price. So while I'm doing this 30-day of Snail Muin, I'm going in every single day making sure that I update the one with the best price. Example, if you want to get these 3 products instead of buying them as a bundle, I just noticed the Snail Muin is $20, but if you get the serum and the moisturizer, it's actually cheaper. 2 together comes out to $13 each. But also you can get the serum and milk cream for literally $16 before any coupons. That means you can get the moisturizer and the serum plus another extra serum and the milk cream all together, 2 different orders for 4 products cheaper than you can if you bought the 3 in one bundle. You're welcome. This is day 8 of my new skincare journey, and we just started using the wash and moisturizers. So if you want to go look at my video for the progress, check out the playlist. Also go to my store shop. Like I said, I will constantly, every single day, update this so that the price is the cheapest you can find. Do we think I can challenge myself by responding to this comment all in one cut with no cuts in between? I don't know, but we're going to try it. So welcome to day 8 of me doing the Snail Muin thing. Look at my skin. It's actually doing really well. Again, just washed it, so it's probably a little red. But let us, and I'm going to put it on damp, respond, I guess. So I find it really ironic that people come in here and saying, look, if you're really a Christian, no true Scotsman fallacy, you're not going to run in here and try to slam your account. And then they turn around and do the exact thing that they are demonizing in the same freaking breath. I will never understand it. It's like the people who also make the comments and they say, I'm not homophobic, I just really don't like gay people. Or, my other favorite, I'm not going to say anything, but I hope you get what you deserve. That's saying something. I just don't know where you're coming from or why you're doing it. Okay. Next, we're going to go on to this Snail Muin, which is beautiful, moisturizing, and looks like something it shouldn't. But let me talk about something else I saw today that just drives me crazy. It's when people straight up say you expressing love is the problem. I made a post on Instagram about that today because I got a YouTube comment that said, I teach people, in the video I said, I teach people to love themselves as they are. And somebody came in was saying, that's the problem. You don't understand that loving yourself is the root of sin, and you should die to self. You shouldn't be, whatever they said. They didn't even say that. I don't think they had enough biblical knowledge. And I was like, excuse you? Excuse you. I was like, firstly, you're ignoring the whole part where Jesus says, love your neighbor. Everyone ignores that. As thyself. He didn't say, hate your neighbor because you hate yourself. He doesn't want you to be all like, I'm broken and shameful and oh my God, why do I exist? I can't believe Adam and Eve ate the apple. I deserve nothing. Listen, if you start hating yourself, and your religion specifically teaches that your thoughts can't be trusted, your mind can't be trusted, your instincts can't be trusted, your love can't be trusted, that leads to you hating yourself. That leads to you hating your family. That leads to you hating others. And if your religion is teaching you to hate instead of love, and the very most basic form of that is to hate yourself, not do self-care, that's not a good religion. And it's not all Christian denominations. There are specific denominations that lean into this deprecation stuff harder, and the persecution complex harder. You should find a new denomination. One that preaches love and acceptance and that you're beautiful. That way you don't go on to like murder and kill people. Do you get it? Does everyone get it? Is it crazy of me to say that? Literally, if I was here 2,000 years ago, I would have my own cult just by saying that. And then I would not want for anything because people would be bringing me things like, oh my God, you're the most wise person ever, JeGaysus. You said to love what? But again, people still need to hear it. I really want to cut this, but we're just going to post it. Anyway, thank you for listening to me ramble on day 8 of being a snail influencer. If you want to check the story times, check the playlist. There's going to be more edited versions if you don't want to stick around for a whole 4 minutes. And, yeah, we're actually really seeing a difference if you go back to day 1. Also, like I said yesterday, all the products that I tag from here on out and keep in my shop are going to be the cheapest version of the CosRX that you can find that is still real. And I will always update that so that you have the best price, even if I lose commission. See you tomorrow. Oh crap, now that it's over, I want to put this at the end. This is what I did to save the video in my draft. I don't know why. It's just funny. And I was like, the song came to mind. Lose all my senses is just so typically me. Yeah, so if you don't know already, we are going to be responding to comments while I put on my Snail Muin. This is day 9 of me doing the skincare routine that everyone's talking about. Face shot, no filter. I'm not feeling the way I put up my hair. I put up way too much. This comment legit says we need to bring back the Crusades. I don't know why TikTok's hiding it. Maybe the trolls are getting smart and they like to actually type Crusades. Wow. This one gets me because what do you think the Crusades are, my dude? Do you not realize that you would be also unalived? The church went on a rampage, specifically targeting any kind of heretics. The Cathars, witches, women, because all women are witches. Most importantly, if you are a Protestant, you would be, you are just here, a modern person who has like the belief in the sun being the center of the solar system. You would be killed. I think you're supposed to let the serum dry, but whatever, we're going straight in with the cream gunk. It's more gunk. The funniest part to me is comments like this don't take into account so much of church doctrine has changed in the past 200 years, let alone in the past 2,000. No matter what you believe, even if you are like an Orthodox Catholic in the Eastern tradition, you're still gonna be wrong and heretical. I don't answer to the Pope. The Pope is not in control. It's really weird that you all do, to be honest. But maybe even funnier is that I pointed out the fact that he would replied and said, I would. I know I would. I would die for the honor of the Pope. My Catholic guy. If you were getting killed in the Crusades because you were a heretic, they would have damned you to hell, moved any rites of your baptism or catechism. You would have been a heretic. That's not for the honor of the Pope. The Pope doesn't want you. Expanding on that thought one step further, church beliefs weren't just decided by papal decrees, but also by a series of councils. And I would have to look at exactly when the Crusades were and then compare that to what councils were going on, because the Catholic Church has gone left and right on so many different ideas, because not only the papal decrees, they also have ecumenical councils where everyone gets together, fights about what should be right, and then they decide that's what God said. If you go back into history, I guarantee whatever you believe today is not what they were believing back then. Councils have gone back and forth about whether Jesus was actually God. Was Jesus in the flesh? Is the Trinity a thing? Is the Holy Spirit also God, but not Jesus? Or just Jesus and the Holy Spirit and then God? Or are they all the same? There's so many different fights. Like in Nicaea, they did not just wrap it all up and say, yes, Jesus is God. They come back in Chalcedon. They come back over and over. Constantinople. So throughout history, there's large portions where Jesus wasn't even considered God. And then sometimes like he was. Whatever you believe now is not going to be in line with the Pope. And you would not be honored in your death. You would die a heretic. They even sometimes have to go back and say, oh, I'm sorry, the saint that we stripped his sainthood and said that he was a heretic, we believe that now too. He was okay. He's no longer damned to hell. 100 years after he was already damned to hell, we accept him back. So funny to me. It's like, why do you live your life controlled by one dude's whims of like, I think this sounds right. And another pope comes in and goes, nope, it's this one. And they go, oh shit, what about all those people we just said were heretics? And they're like, and it changes. I'm just saying, why are you going to bat for someone who would want you gone? Think about that. Heretic out. As always, the products linked to my shop are the ones that I can find for the best prices because I change them daily. Check out the playlist if you want other stories. I feel like this has become the Mapper show. No, that's incorrect. Let's quickly address the statement that gay people are more likely to be abusers, which is just not true. Sorry about the dog barking. It's the same narrative they've used since like the 50s, trying to paint us as somehow dangerous, something that'll infect the children. Study after study says no, that's not the case. By the way, we're on day 9 of using the Snail Muin. Look at my skin, no filter. For example, 86% in a study done by the Boston, 86% of those found guilty of child assault were all straight. In that same study, moving on to the moisturizer, found that a child living in a household where there was a heterosexual partner, they had 100 times increased likelihood of being abused compared to relative relationships where the person was bi or trans. That was only a 0.07 chance. In fact, we are rarely the perpetrators, but we are often the most victimized. All of Massachusetts in this report, at 65% of trans women reported being raped. In a larger national study, 52% of anybody identifying as homosexual or bisexual have reported sexual violence being done to them. You're falling for this false narrative that they've always used to try to demonize us. Am I saying that there's absolutely no gay out there? Of course there are. It's not nearly the danger that you're making it seem. I don't have the numbers offhand. You look at the woman who's tracking all abuse cases right now. In the past year, there's been almost 1,000. Not one of them was a drag queen. About 0.00 something percent were from trans people. It's usually the cis het white men, and the most egregious of them all are pastors, priests, teachers, and family members. Those are the people you need to be worried about. It's not us. That being said, we all hate CSA. Nobody on our side is like, woohoo. No, we hate children getting hurt just as much as straight people. So it's really annoying when people try to make up this false narrative that we have more prevalent abuse, and in reality, we're the ones who are getting targeted. Day 9 and I can't light right up on the camera. My pores are shrinking, even though I picked my face the other day. My wrinkles are shrinking a little bit too. Anyway, it's gonna be linked here in the shop. Like I said, I'm gonna always have the best price linked. I hide the other ones. If you wanna get on the Snail Muin game, come back tomorrow, check out the story times in the playlist below. Remember, monsters are monsters. Just being gay doesn't make you a monster.
You should follow Jesus. Well, what kind of content does he make? I'm sorry? Like, what's his niche? He's the son of God. Well, I don't know, follow somebody just because, like, their dad was cool. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like, if he's dope, dude, you know what, dude? I'll follow him if he follows me back, dude. What's his freaking at? His what? His at, like his TikTok, dude. Everybody's like, follow this guy. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ever tells me what the frig his friggin' TikTok
I'm
is,
just
dude.
gonna go. Every time I post a video saying the Gospels are anonymous, I get comments like this. Where are the sources? Like 50, maybe plus. For anyone who wasn't aware, the Gospels are anonymous, and nobody knows who actually wrote them. Disciples are there named just to give them apostolic authorities. We're using the CosRX Snail Muin. In addition to that being a 2-part video where I give sources in the second part, which I know is a little hard to find, I got you, but it's like tagged in the comments, there is also a magical thing called Google. You have to know what you're searching for. So type in just like any key phrase like Gospels were anonymous, scholarship view on Gospels. What year were the Gospels named? True, it's just factually true. I forgot to say it's day 10, and I know it's a little dark in here, but look at how good the skin is looking. 2nd century was the first time that Gospels received a name. Before that, there was no Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Other key phrases you can use, 2nd century, Tertullian, father of Latin theology, things like that, and it will come up. Fingers shaky, I don't know why. We're moving on to the Snail Muin moisturizer. You know very well that TikTok does not allow URLs, and it is listed in the video. In the comments, it is all over the place. What drives me nuts on this one is that people will sit there and have a conversation back and forth for hours. 50 to 100 comments. Whole time they keep on repeating, okay, but where are you getting this from? I will tell you where to go Google and what to look for, and then you can read from there and do your own research, and people still won't. I've even just said the tagged video is here so you can watch part 2 with sources, and they won't. They don't want the sources. They'll come in here and deny every fact because they don't have it sitting in front of them, and when you're telling them exactly where to go, they refuse to do that either. Bad faith argument. You can put on the last step of the moisturizer in a separate video. You can go look at the playlist for stories and comment replies if you want to. If you have an idea about like my life you want to know, I can go into just like a personal story time instead of using these comments, please let me know. My Lord and Savior. This is going to be a comment reply where I'm talking about homophobia and how that leads to violence. We'll show you the video. I just wanted to say before I forget. It's day 11 and I'm going to do a day 14 skin side-by-side update. But I was also like, maybe I should do an earnings report so you can see all the money I've made on TikTok selling the Snail Muin. Do you want to guess how much it is? Drop it in the comments. Let's just say this is a labor of love and really interested in the science results of doing a 30-day challenge. That's what keeps me motivated. Also, I started a new business for feet. See my other video. No, babe, I am my Lord and Savior. JeGaysus is my savior. In fact, I think everyone should be their own savior because guess what? When they're coming after the LGBTQ people, it's just me standing up for ourselves. In fact, I have merch called IAMOLS that I sell on my website. I am my own Lord and Savior. So it stands for. That way you don't have to wear something blatantly gay and you can get around just like you know what it means, but other people won't know. Oh yeah, and it's day 11 of rubbing stuff on my face while we talk about stories and reply to comments. Specifically Snail Muin, that kind of stuff. Oh, my skin is looking so good. I thought that the beauty filter was on, so I had to check. Look at this is no filter. This is with filter. Yo, 14-day update's going to be insane. I also just wanted to talk about this comment because how in the world did you come up with the fact that 165 pounds was the weight of the cross? Where did this number come from? That's magic. I'm going to show you all the video that this comment was left on because it's getting views again out of nowhere. Like, it didn't do that great, but only one type of people are finding videos from a year ago. So we're going to play that while I go on to the next step, which is the Snail Muin moisturizer. Watch while I just tap.
Jesus actually died on a cross. That cross has handles screwed into the sides of it. It's ingenious. Jesus should have thought of that.
I did think about it, so there's that. If you've seen my arms, they're not very big, so holding something by a handle is actually much more painful than putting it on your back and letting it drag across the floor. So this was thought about. I really appreciate that you care and you're just trying to save me some pain. That's more than most Christians do. Usually they're just like, yay, Jesus died. Step 3, embryo lease. This one is something that's been around since before the Snail Muin trend. What does embryo lease mean? I swear to God, people are going to make this about embryos. I think it's just French for something else. Baby skin? Only need a little bit. So why are you so bent out of shape over the cross video? That was funny. I don't know about you, but I think if anything, you should be really upset at that first guy who has wheels and is walking around literally mocking, putting himself in the place of Jesus and acting as if he could in any way relate to Jesus's struggles. Like you said, his flesh may or may not have been ripped to shreds. It depends on if you're watching the Passion of the Christ or if you're going off of like your imagination. But you will go to bat fighting me, but you do not bring any of that same energy towards people doing the same thing. At least I'm not walking around carrying a cross, cosplaying, pretending that I have it just as bad as Jesus, which is what they're doing. Christians run around saying that they're so persecuted. Their religious freedoms are so under attack because gay people can get married. Wow, that sucks, bro. Hard. Wow. Aaron makes a video responding to that guy, and then I make a video responding to Aaron, and it's all in good fun, but you only get mad at me? Why aren't you yelling at the first guy? Jim Caviezel is still going around talking about the sound of freedom, and Jim Caviezel is like, I might be Jesus, but I don't know everything. No one gets mad at him because he played Jesus in Passion of the Christ. No one's getting mad at their kids for being in school nativity plays, playing Jesus on stage. Why are you angry at me? What's the difference between Jim Caviezel and the guy carrying the cross and your little kid who's Jesus in a manger? Why are you mad at me? Oh, yeah. Okay. It's because I'm gay. You want to say, oh no, it's just because you compare yourself to Jesus. And Jesus does not matter. End of the day, it's because I'm gay. That's the point. It doesn't matter. I'm gay, Mary's gay, you're gay, Jesus is gay. The gay part is what you're mad about. Admit it. And then grow and say, ew, why? Do I even know what gay people are like? And then just have a conversation and be a better person, because it's annoying. Because the rest of us are actually trying to fight for our rights, and people are dying. Because when you're casually homophobic, it leads up to violent homophobia. Yeah, okay, bye. Today I come to you with great sadness. It's gonna be a story time. Ooh, like, don't do that. Okay. Snail Muin, day 11. Yeah. I'm so tired and annoyed at TikTok in general. It's just exhausting to be a creator. The issue isn't the regular things like, oh, people are mean and homophobic or wanting to off me. Because come on, babe, we're millennials. We literally invented that with MySpace and LiveJournal back in the day. We perfected the art of trolling way before these kids are. See, what makes me angry is when AI gets so deep, goes so heavy on their moderation that it makes it impossible for me to do anything. Moving on to the moisturizer step, you may notice we might be missing a day in this playlist of 30 days of Snail Muin. That is because day 10 was removed literally probably after an hour of me putting it up. God, I got Muin on my phone. Yeah, so it was marked as community guidelines violation, and it allowed me to submit appeals. I went hard because firstly, they don't give you a reason of why it's violation anymore. It's just like violation. It doesn't say, you know, hatred or adult content or we just don't like your face. Like, first strike was because it was over a minute and it said this was not appropriate for the creator fund. Second strike was because it was against violations. So it got a double strike. They treat them as separate because you can get removed and demonetized but still have your video play. I appealed in the exact same way for both. Amazingly, we did get it back at like 3 in the morning. Embryo lease moisturizer. Here's the results. It was put back into the creativity program beta, and they looked at it and said, oh wow, yeah, no, that's not a violation. Then whoever had it a couple hours later looked at the overall video violation and said, no, it's a violation, and so it's permanently deleted. Not only did they not tell you what violation you have, but TikTok cannot agree within their team if something is a violation or not. I will tell you what was in the video right now, but firstly, you may have heard me and other creators specifically calling out TikTok's auto moderation for being too hard on queer issues. If you say or type, oh God forbid, don't type the word gay in comments, you can and will receive a violation. It doesn't matter if it's talking about supporting the gay community, because they mark anything as gay as adult. That's what I'm assuming. It's kind of like ChatGPT. You have to reword everything 5 ways just to get a result, because otherwise it's like, ooh, this is gay content. This is the issue with AI moderating everything. And then when it goes to humans, it should be looked at and saying, oh wow, that's not a problem at all. But it's not. And it's because they outsource their moderation teams into countries where they pay them pennies on the dollar. And these countries, you guessed it, are usually in pretty homophobic spaces. My video was in no way a violation. It was doing exactly what I'm doing right now, which is putting on moisturizer and discussing issues. Specifically was about how general homophobic comments and making that kind of language okay, especially online, has led to more and more rampant homophobia in real life, which results in people losing their lives. And I didn't even get into the whole losing their lives things. I just said perpetual allowance of this kind of material does lead to violence. And I didn't even get into graphic details. None of that falls within content violations. And the person who looked at this said, that does not. And then after midnight, the person overseas looked at it and said, I don't know, that's definitely gay. Oh good, the air came on. I was using my mic and I was wanting to see what it sounds like, and the whole time the air was off and I was like, no, I'm not even gonna know. But maybe the quality is good now? It looks like it's loud. It has a screen. It's not just videos, like I said, it's comments. I have 6 denied in the past 5 months. Out of 3 years on this platform, I have never once had an appeal that was lost. Now I have 2 videos in the past week and 6 comments in the past 3 months, and every single one of them had to do with gay. Example, I got a comment that was removed and denied because I said I am gay. I'm not calling anyone else gay. Oop. Guidelines violation on my own video. Then I had another one where I tagged a friend of mine at Brotherhood of Evil Gays. Oop, violation. Didn't even say anything in the comment. I just mentioned. So this is just me venting. I am exhausted being bullied by these companies that don't think about it first, or haven't decided to code it in and they continue to get away with it, so why bother? Or maybe they're purposefully doing it to suppress LGBTQ voices because it's a hot button debate. Oh, that also, one thing, if it's okay for monetization, then it should be okay for the platform. They're only scared about losing money. Don't piss off the advertiser. We need to band together and figure this out. We need to pressure TikTok. Queer creators need your support. I don't know if that's the media. I don't know if that is tanking the App Store. We're fighting an uphill battle every day, and we cannot even just be. I've kind of given up on my account being successful. That's why I don't put a lot of work into the quality anymore, because there's no real up. There isn't. I'm so permanently shadow banned that anything I do will be unsuccessful. I can try to hawk you products and say, go buy this, which you should, because my skin looks incredible. I can go on live and get like 5 gifts because my lives don't go out to anybody. My videos don't get shown, so the creator program doesn't work. I have friends who are not a minority, and they make thousands a month doing the same kind of talking head style videos that I do. It's exhausting. I am tired. I am sad. And it feels, I see people just giving up, and I don't want to do that, but it feels like we need to find a new way to address their issues with the gays, their issues with the queer community, because I've just been beating my head against the wall all day, all week, all month. I just want my account to be set back to 0 and act normally again. I don't want to be flagged as a queer person. I know that they suppress them. I know they do. They used to have a policy saying specifically they would hide gay people, and then they got in trouble and they repealed it. But it's obviously back in action again in new direct ways. 0 bans in an entire 3 years and then multiple in a month. Something's going on. That's why we need like investigative journalists to get out there. We need media stories. We need TikTok employees to stand up. We need your voices to yell about it every time it happens. Take screenshots. Talk to other creators. And we need to put pressure on them. And it's probably only gonna matter in public spaces. That's all TikTok cares about, is their public reputation. Tweet at them. Yell at them in public as much as you can. And if you wanna watch my other video, number 10, that was removed, I'm gonna go put it on Instagram, because I've also never ever had a violation there for being gay. It's like 5 minutes and it has some important points, but I was trying to cut this and make this like a thinking thing, and now I'm just like zoned out, because like I said, I am tired. If you want to help try to support my channel, I do have a Patreon. This account might not be here for much longer, so check that out. That's how you get access to Discord. And obviously if you buy these products, I get like $1. I've sold 0. It works. It really works compared to day one. I love you all. Stay strong, because I'm just tired.
and I'm a reluctant heterosexual. We're attracted to women against our will. I didn't choose to be this way. I wish I was gay. And trust me, I've tried. The reluctant heterosexuals, we're straight and tired of dealing with women.
I think that's supposed to be a skit, but here's the thing that's really common. Doing a Day 12 Snail Muin thing while we talk about it. Compulsory heterosexuality is a real thing. Look how good my skin looks before I move backward. The term was originally coined in the 80s to discuss how lesbians are often forced into a heterosexual lifestyle because it's easier for them to just assume gender roles that are expected and become a wife. Which is all fine and dandy, but I think it's more interesting when it comes to men. What this skit is describing here is something that a lot of guys suffer. Just look around at the patriarchy we live in and see that guys don't like women. And it's kind of deep, actually. You don't have an actual percentage on this, but I would argue that it is most straight men. I'm trying to come out in gender theory a little bit more, and technically, if we were gonna stick on the compulsory heterosexuality side of things, then we'd be more discussing like men who would be bi, but they ignore their attractions because it's just easier. Reluctant heterosexual actually makes a lot of sense. These guys don't want to be around women. They don't enjoy talking to women. There's no emotional fulfillment that comes from just the process, and instead they look at it much more like a chore. The air conditioning went on. That they do want to pursue women for. Outside of that, there's a lot of men that just hate women. That's why we keep seeing the patriarchy come back harder with the whole trad wife thing, because if a woman's not being who she is and only there to be a servant, perfect. It's like children should be seen and not heard, but for women. I would argue it's a majority. Can't say every, but it's a majority. That's why they like to have guy friends and guy time. And it's even why there's so much sexually charged energy that'll go on between straight guys. You know, the football thing, the stand in a circle cookie thing. And let's be honest, when it comes to the downstairs area, there's a lot happening here too. Men are obsessed with watching other men looking at size, kind of leaning into, there's a phrase called homosexual obsessive compulsive disorder. I was discussing this on my podcast with a sex therapist. It's men who are so terrified of being homosexual that they obsessively think about it, obsessively fixate on other men's attractiveness. They're constantly checking to make sure, am I attracted to this? Am I attracted to this? Why am I attracted? You know? And on the opposite side, that's also true. There's a very, very good amount of men who don't like seeing the I know this as a gay man because it's something that I used to talk about with guys in high school all the time, saying like, I'm not attracted to this part. And the very common response is, nobody is. I mean, the terms like axe wound and all those other things didn't come from gay men. Straight guys don't like that set of genitalia. A majority. Rolling with their answer, they don't necessarily like looking at it. They're not a connoisseur and can tell you all the different shapes. That's why it's so hard for them to find certain locations, because they don't care to really investigate. It's gotten better, I think, in recent years, especially with dinner activities being more normalized. They're kind of expected to know their way around now. It's very few men who are aesthetically attracted. They like the feeling, they like the action, but they're not like hanging it on their wall. There's a reason why it's always like, are you a breast guy or are you a butt guy? That is what their focus is on, because it's definitely not on the other part. I could go on about this for a while, but like I said, check out my podcast because I do talk about some kind of stuff like this, but I've never done a full episode on it. I will just say though, if you go to the comments of that video, all the guys are like, exactly, you get it. It's so hard to be straight. And it reminds me of a video that went viral like 2 years ago where a man on a podcast straight up said, I'm not attracted to this genital. The women in the comments and the men in the comments were going crazy. Like, oh, we'll just say you're gay. But I want to flip that on its head as well. Women who are straight, same exact thing. The majority don't want to see it. They don't want to know what it looks like when it's not excited or excited. They really don't want unsolicited pics. But why do you think guys send the unsolicited pics? They do like it. Like the comparison of it. They think this is gonna impress somebody because I like it. Even if it's only liking their own. I think their own is very impressive. That's where the mindset comes from. Women were slamming that guy so hard for saying out loud that he's not into the V. And really they shouldn't be, because the majority of women say the exact same thing. Maybe they're partners only, or maybe they like the feeling of it, but they're not like dreaming of bats all day, you know? Straight people are just so weird. Come to either a lesbian or a gay guy and they love the part. They want to see it, want to hang it up on a wall, make a statue. Again, majority, we're not talking for all of them. Don't come in here saying, I don't. Always gonna be outliers. Something to think about. This is super long and I thought it was gonna be like a quick stitch. I almost set it to under a minute. Fail. If you want to watch my other stories and some comment replies, I have a whole playlist. We're doing this every day for 30 days. My face is changing. It's kind of incredible. This 3-step program, insane. We are living in the most moral time, period. If you're new here, my name is JeGaysus, and usually I talk about religious deconstruction. But today I wanted to get a little into philosophy. I was gonna put my hair back so I can do my skincare, but like, looks too good to touch. Also my nails. We are living in the most moral time period because, look at it like this. If we were to go back in time and assume that morality comes from learning, because ignorance is what breeds hatred and fear, and then leads to things such as violence and stealing and corruption, well then we currently have the most access to communication, the most books. We have the internet, we have TikTok, the ability to see somebody completely different than us. Doing this without my hair pinned is a lot harder than I thought. Forgot yesterday to do my skincare, so this is now officially day 13 of the Snail Muin challenge thing that I'm doing. You don't even have to go that far back in time. If you just look at the civil rights era, there was people that were so segregated, purposefully and just by landmass and communication, that they hated other people for their race. Largely, that has changed. Not systematically. Also, there's like extremists still. Conversation, because of desegregation, because of people finally getting to see people who are different than them, a different color skin, they were able to go, oh wow, they're humans like me, and we grew in empathy. We became more moral. Almost forgot to do an obligatory close-up on my nails. If you want these, they're linked at the top of my Amazon shop and on Instagram. Oh, I need to go wash my hands. I believe this works in any situation, in any subject, because we also have science. So whether it's empathy towards humans or it's, oh my god, I did not know that animal had consciousness, and therefore we put in stricter animal abuse laws. No matter what happens, as society progresses, we become more moral. I don't know why the conversation is never framed in this way when it really should be. When we come from a stance that modernity itself is the meaning of morality, we can only be as good as our current knowledge set, then it calls into question why we're looking backwards to get real moral value. Tying it back into religious deconstruction, if a book was written 2,000 years ago that supported slavery, they were still in the era of Greek thinking. They assumed that women were undeveloped men and just hadn't completed growing their stuff, that saw women as property and less than people, from a time period where they thought that sickness was caused by not giving enough donations to God, or that warring tribe, somebody different than them, was doing better with their deity, therefore they were being punished by God. Before germ theory existed. Why would we want to take lessons from those people, those old days, especially when it wasn't that long ago when we were uneducated in this country promoting segregation? Just like half a century ago. Why are we listening to people 2,000 years ago to get our morals? No. We currently, today, whatever day you're watching this, live in the most moral society. And it's only going to progress and get exposed to different kinds of science, people, technology, and become more moral in the future. I don't care what you say, I just have this realization and it's made my mind up. I'm not going to listen to you, but you can debate in the comments. Just be respectful and don't be like calling names. And also, check out because day 13, we're looking hot. Skin-wise, there's no filters, and I will be doing an update for the exact 2-week mark tomorrow to show the side-by-side comparison. It's crazy. Along with the reveal. Everyone on my FYP has been doing the Snail Muin thing, but I feel like nobody's been tracking it. So I have. Today is day 14 of me using Snail Muin. First 7 days, I just used the Snail Muin serum, and then I added in the moisturizer and embryolisse. When I tell you to run, you should run and do this. Look at my skin. One note, these red things are from me picking, so don't judge these 2 spots and these. I keep rubbing my nose. That's why it's red. Comparison time. And obviously I don't have a filter on, so this is day 1. Girl, like, trying to get the same distance. I don't know if you can see the difference the same way I can, but it's crazy good. I've been doing stories without even having to worry about filters, which is weird for me. But also the thing I've never seen anyone talk about, my scar. My scar is almost gone. It has never been this flat. Look at, if I just move my nose, it's almost completely filled in. I got bit by a rat when I was younger. It used to be so deep that you'd be able to see it from even far away. Like with makeup on, it would... I'm freaking telling you, you're gonna use this, this, and this, and 3-step trio, and you're going to love it. I almost forgot to tell you the facts. In this process, I found out that this is actually animal friendly, because snails don't produce the mucus if they're not happy. I don't know what that means, but apparently they have entire snail farms at CosRx, and they have a mesh set up, and then the snails crawl across the mesh. The snail mucus drips down. That's how they collect it, which is pretty cool. And apparently Korea is having such a hard time. There's not enough snails to actually keep up with all this because of it going viral, so they're going to be running out soon. Those are the quick facts I've learned. Oh yeah, and this has natural collagen, peptides, hyaluronic acid, so all the things you're using separate serums for is naturally produced by snails. I think that's why it's called 96. Or maybe because it's 96% mucin. I don't know. Somebody key in the information if you know. Lastly, look at my skin with the basic TikTok filter. Girl, filters. Plus the mucin. Send this to your friends, go get some. Please use my link. I've still not sold one. But that's okay, because I'm not really here to sell. I wanted to see how it was going to go on my own. I wanted to see what it would do for me. And if this scar goes away by the end of the 30 days, I'm going to scream.